Hello, one and all, and we are finally here for the beginning of the biggest season in the history of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. It is time to get Season 10 underway, where this season it'll be 70 drivers total battling for victories as well as championships. But anyways, I am Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. ThrashManiac99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the first of 5 events for this week's Daytona Speedweek, the Budweiser Shootout here at Daytona International Speedway, and joining me for co-commentary, Kevin Shearer and Zach Rogers.
What's up?
So there you go. So this year's format for the Bud Shootout, we are not doing any more LCQ events for this race. Instead, we're going to do just the one race, 16 laps, and the people that are eligible to be in would be pole sitters from the previous season, as well as past winners of this race and past champions. So this is going to be an interesting race, to say the least. But anyways, let's take a look at the lineup for tonight. Mason Powers is on the pole. Next to him is Jonathan Zorline. Row 2 is Dorian Facepuncher and Cody Lamas. Row 3 is Matt McIntyre, Jessica Shelton. Row 4, Johnny Gardner, Zach Rogers. And then row 5, is Sean Galligan, Chase Oliver. Row 6 is Austin LaPlante and David Rivera. Row 7, Dougie Shears and Tim Walsh. Row 8 is Michael Norman, Peachy London. Row 9, Dylan Young, Jake Baskinger. Row 10, Seth Cole, Preston Plord. Row 11 is Angel Navarro, Chris Washer. And then row 12 is Anthony McCrory and James McLeod. So before we get the command to fire engines, predictions for this race, as far as my top 3 picks, I am going to go with Cody Lamas, Michael Norman, and Chris Washer. Cody Lamas because he is hungry to get this season going in the right direction. Michael Norman because he's arguably the king of play racing here in this series. And Chris Washer because he knows what it's like to win any kind of event at Daytona. But anyways, Kevin, your picks.
I'm going to go with the 24 of McIntyre, the 44 of Galligan, and the 54 of Baskinger.
Rogers.
I'm going with the 02 of Shelton, the 9 of me. Saying my last name feels weird.
Right.
And the 3 of Michael Norman.
And it was just confirmed that Zach Rogers' family tree, his grandfather is Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. But let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines, shall we?
That serum didn't pass on, though.
Drivers, start your engines!
And there you have it. Yeah, unfortunately, the serum didn't work for you. You're just a normal person.
Actually, if anything, it made me extremely weak.
Where, unlike your grandfather, it made him extremely strong.
You're just a mere mortal.
Well, you knew how skinny he was before that serum, so I'm like that. Yeah.
And how small as far as height.
Well, except I'm really tall, so I got the height, but I didn't get anything else.
And also, you were born in Massachusetts. He was born in New York.
New York.
So, anyways, all jokes aside. So this should be quite the interesting Bud Shootout because for once I fixed the I&Is of plate tracks so that way it don't end up like how... So that way the racers at the plate tracks don't end up like how they did last season where it was mostly domination races. So hopefully this season the play races will be a lot better. But
They better be.
But who knows? I could be wrong.
Better
Again,
a
I'm
riot.
wrong all the time.
Better a riot.
Okay. So, out of all the guys in this, out of the drivers in this field, the only ones that are past champions are Dorian Facepuncher, Jessica Shelton, David Rivera, Dylan Young, Preston Plord. I believe that is it. So those are the only past champions that are in this field tonight.
Here we go. Getting ready to go. Green flag racing. Pace car dives it down the pit road. Green flag about to be in the air. Let's get ready to rumble.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing.
Those are
Darts.
quite unique.
Indeed.
Darts. Darts.
Yes, Mason Powers running a Dodge Dart for Tommy Baldwin Racing. Both him and his teammate Chris Washer in this field, but Washer in the back, falling back there. But could be strategy to wait for the right time to get up to the front, perhaps. Anyways, Zorleen up high, but here comes Dorian Facepuncher with a run down low. Chase Oliver stuck in the middle of a hornet's nest, middle of a 3-wide battle.
Well, it ain't looking too good.
Yeah, chasing that AutoZone car for a brand new race team that him and his teammates have been talking about. Team Heel Motorsports. So, him and along with some of his friends and my friends from the YWC are crossing over to the Walmart Cup Series. Steven Guerrero in the 8 car, Matt Skoenberger in the number 80, and Connor Morgan in the 81, all representing that team. While Chase Oliver has been in this series many seasons, he decided he's bringing some of his pals and some of my pals over to help him out. Whoa! Oh! We almost had a wreck with Sheldon and Rivera, and how in the world did they save that?
I don't know, but that 36 is getting a little bit far up there in the draft.
That's not a good thing. He's
Better not
virtually
get
the
too
second
far
duck.
up.
And now here comes Dougie Shears in the 83. And Dougie Shears, I tell you, last season was a season he'd like to forget. He missed out on well more than half of the races last season because while he was locked into the first 5 races last season, after those first 5, he just sank like a rock. And speaking of last season, here comes the champion from Season 9, Dylan Young, to the front.
Well, they were 3 wide entering the corner, and I wasn't sure if they were going to get through it.
Indeed. Young leads that lap, and now here comes Preston Plord in the 41 in a brand new Dr. Pepper paint scheme that he's going to be running this season as a secondary car to his Haas Automation Chevy for Ganassi Racing. So, interesting sponsorship there. Jake Baskinger now up to the front in that 54 Toyota self-service car. 3 wide for second with McCurry, Cole, and Plord.
Ooh, they're getting close. Oh, don't get too close.
Right.
Oh boy.
As we are a quarter of the way through the race, as we now have 12 to go here in the shootout. Now the question is that they will have to make a pit stop before this race is over. The question would be, when would they make it?
60.
Oh, and there they go! Shears is sideways. Dylan Young is around. Multi-car crash.
Did that bring a caution out, though? No,
What?
it didn't. No caution.
That is weird ruling right there by the NNSCRA.
Oh, they're wrecking up ahead? No, no. They're good. That takes a lot of people out of contention there.
Oh yeah, it took Dylan Young out, took Matt McIntyre out, and he's actually coming on the pit road. What about Dylan Young? No, he's going to try and stay to the end of the race. Matt McIntyre got some big-time damage on the front. We're going to keep an eye on him, see if he's going to be able to keep going or if he's going to have to put that car over the wall and put out of the race. Let's see. As we are waiting to see him pull into his pit stall. And he's going to try and finish. So No retirees at this moment. It's pretty much as a result of that incident, the field is separated quite a good bit. And now Matt McIntyre coming out of pit road as the leaders are coming through. Battle up at the front with Tim Walsh and Jake Baskinger. But yeah, I'm surprised that didn't bring out a caution. But I guess, according to NNSCRA, they told me that because Dylan Young spun down to the apron, that was not caution worthy. So, kind of weird ruling, but it's from what they've told me. So, either or, we're still going, as it's pretty much going to come down to everybody from Baskinger on back to potentially Face Puncher. That is only if Mason Powers and a couple cars in this pack fall back a little bit in order to help the 62 out. And then you got Austin LaPlante and Johnny Gardner a little bit behind. And then it's Zorleen, Shelton, Lamas, Rogers, Rivera, Galligan, Norman, Shears all there. So pretty much realistically, this race is going to come down to one of these 10 drivers up here in the top 10. That is if, when they make their pit stop,
Or they could separate the field easily when they make... That could go down 10 cars. If they go down at 2 separate times, you could have a 3-car pack at the end.
Perhaps. As we are halfway through the Bud Shootout, and Baskinger up at the front, and then you got Pichu London up here, you got Angel Navarro, Seth Cole, Anthony McCrory, Tim Walsh, Chris Washer, James McLeod, Mason Powers, Chase Oliver, and look at that, both the Tommy Baldwin cars working together, trying to get up there. And then the remaining drivers in the field, you got Dorian Face Puncher there, Johnny Gardner, there's Austin LaPlante, Zorleen, Shelton, Lamas, Rogers, Rivera, Galligan, Norman, Shears, there's Matt McIntyre a lap down, Plord, and Dylan Young. So every car's still running on track, but a few of them are pretty much off the pace as a result of that incident off turn 2. Jake Baskinger doing a good job of holding off everybody. But now here comes McCrory. Oh, he couldn't quite get there. McCrory tried to go for a run on second, but did not materialize. At least at this point. Now here he comes with a run down low.
54 car throws the block, though.
Looking around the field to see what's going on, and so far we're still clean and green. Technically it should be called just green because we're not clean, because look at the skid marks off too. But with that being said, Baskinger has the lead, but now here comes McCrory with a run to the inside. Chris Washer trying to work his way up there. Here he comes. McLeod and Tim Walsh, 2 of the Tweenix racing cars working together. And now Pichu London and Seth Cole, Chase Oliver move down, leaving the 54, the 20, and the 36 up high. And now here comes Chris Washer with a run underneath of McCrory.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use the Snickers right now.
You ain't kidding. Ow. So as we continue to look around the field to see if anything's changed much, we got a little 5-car pack led by Johnny Gardner, but that's about close to 9 seconds back from the main pack. Anyways, we got Tweenix cars up at the front. McLeod led that lap, and now here comes Tim Walsh in the 15.
4 laps to go.
Yeah, we're 3/4 of the way through this event, but you gotta wonder if these guys are going to make it on gas.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
thought the 51 was about to get spun right there.
Yeah, I saw that too. He got slightly a bit sideways, but they save it and are still going.
If that had happened in the middle of the corner, 51 right down into whoever was below him could have taken out half this pack easily.
Right? And then who knows what could happen from that point on. Haven't seen any cars pull down on the pit road yet.
They
As
might
it's now
not
3
pit
to
at
go.
all.
Yeah, they may try to go to distance, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It's going to be close either way. But Tim Walsh has a bit of a gap between himself and Pichu London, and that's not really a good thing. That is unless they just keep racing crazy enough to the point where they can't get to the 15. It's a battle for second as here comes Mason Powers, the pole sitter, underneath of Pichu to get to second. Seth Cole with a run. Chase Oliver trying to get up there. These guys are running out of time as we're coming to 2 to go here in the shootout. I don't know if they keep running as fast as they are, they might catch the 24 of Matt McIntyre before this race is over.
They're
And that
going
could-
to. I think
yeah.
they are.
Yeah, and if that happens, it's going to cause a lot of shuffling up here at the front.
Oh, yeah, they're going to catch him. Maybe in the corner, maybe off the corner.
Looks like it'll probably be off
Better-
the corner.
Better case for Tim Walsh. It's not going to happen. He's going to have to slow up.
Yeah, and now Walsh is going to get bypassed now by Anthony McCreary, and the car's on the inside, and the high lane gets held up. White flag is out.
Just
And now
took-
they put him 3 wide up high.
That completely took the win away from Tim Walsh right there.
Yeah, and now McCreary's up at the front with a bit of a gap, as now here comes Washer, McLeod, and Navarro on the inside. Will they catch Dylan Young? I don't think they'll be as quick to him, because Young's going a
it's
lot
gonna be
faster than the
close.
24.
It might be coming to the line. I'm not really sure. No, I don't think they're going to catch him.
No, and I think this race is going to be in the bag, because we're coming off of 4. Checkered flag's going to start waving. What a way to kick off the season. Anthony McCreary wins the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. In what was a dramatic turn of events at the final lap when they caught the 24, and that took the win away from Tim Walsh.
All right, the 15's going to end up 5th here tonight after that.
Yeah, but holy
I'm sure,
cow.
but sure the 15 is going to have a couple words with the 24 after the race.
Perhaps. And Tim Walsh is no stranger to rivalries. I mean, heck, his biggest rival in the entire NR world is Trent Dunham. But anyways, let's look at the results. As McCreary, congratulations on that victory. Chris Washer with a great run in the 2nd spot. Solid run for James McLeod in 3rd. Solid performance for, as my phone just went off, Jake Baskinger in 4th. And Tim Walsh, tough break for him at the end, but comes away 5th. Rest of the top 10 was Angel Navarro, Seth Cole, Pichu London, Chase Oliver, and Mason Powers. Rest of the top 20 was Jonathan Zorline, Johnny Gardner, Dorian Facepuncher, Jessica Sheldon, Cody Lamas, Austin LaPlante, David Rivera, Michael Norman, then Cody Lamas, then Sean Galligan, Zach Rogers, and then Dougie Shears, Preston Plord, Dylan Young, and 2 laps down was Matt McIntyre. So that does it for our coverage tonight here for the Budweiser Shootout in what was a crazy race to say the least. But this is just the beginning of what's going to be arguably could be the greatest speed week of all time for the Walmart Cup Series. Because tomorrow will be Daytona 500 qualifying, where we determine the front row for the race, as well as for each session, 3 go-or-go homers in each session, so we get 6 go-or-go homers to get in on speed. Then on Wednesday, as I hear some cough and sneeze, but anyways, so then Wednesday will be the Gatorade Duels, where we'll determine the rest of the field, as well as 6 more go-or-go homers to be in the race. Then on Thursday will be Daytona 500 final practice, and then Friday night will be the Daytona 500. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this race. I'm Levi McIntyre. That's your cue, guys.
Oh, I'm Kev Shear.
I'm Zach Rogers. Ugh. See you later.
And thank you for watching.